And higher education means you have to think about your aim, target, goal, and with that perspective, you are supposed to work. As I always tell you, keep on telling you throughout the year, that you are all young scholars, you are all literate, you have passed school, you are all literate, you are all scholars, and we, the teachers, we are also scholars. You are junior scholars and we are senior scholars. We are also learning with you and you are also learning with us. So in higher education, a professor in the college is not that teacher who gives you homework, classwork or assignments. But he is your mentor, he is your guide. Try to connect with your teachers in the college, not for the syllabus or for attendance, but for your career. These 3 years of the degree college, they matter a lot in investing your future, what you are going to become in the future. And when we begin with education in the college, I think the first priority, as even Aristotle or you say Vivekananda, even in Vedas, if you begin with Upanishads also, Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktai, knowledge which liberates you. And how liberation is possible? We have so many religions in India. Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Sikhism. What is the main target of every religion? Moksha, they say. We need to attain moksha. Now what is moksha? Salvation, which we say in English. Again, that is liberation. Now what liberation you want? You want liberation from the life? It doesn't mean that you have to take a sannyas for that. Or you have to go to a forest or on the top, hill. No, not at all. Knowledge can only liberate you if you are wise enough to take your independent decisions. So that is what we say, liberating. And for the wisdom, what do you want? You must know what actually you wanted to have in your life. Now life, when I say life, I think life is a very big thing which not even God knows what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. We don't know. We have our plannings, but we are not sure whether that planning is going to be completed, executed, or may go into a better result. We are not sure about that. So what is the first priority of a human being if we talk about the knowledge, wisdom and liberation? These 3 elements if I say. यानी कि ज्ञान भी होना चाहिए, लिबरेशन भी होना चाहिए और विजडम, वो बुद्धिमत्ता भी होनी चाहिए. What do you mean by these 3 things? If you wanted to attain these 3 things, I think the first and foremost duty of a person is to know yourself. Shakespeare used to call it, know thyself. Thy means yourself. Veda says, know yourself. Plato, the philosopher, Western philosopher says, know yourself. Socrates says, know yourself. Confucius says, know yourself. स्वयं को पहचानो, अपने आप को जानो. I think all religion, they talk about this. Now what is this? अपने आप को जानो और स्वयं को पहचानो. Is it something related with the religion? No. Is it something related with the philosophy? No. It's a way of life. जीने की पहली कला जिसे हम कहते हैं, the first art of living, that is knowing yourself. Celebrate your body, celebrate your mind, celebrate your soul. If you can celebrate yourself, you can celebrate the world. If you hate yourself, it's difficult to accept the world. Now, how to celebrate oneself? How to celebrate? Because today is the celebration day. This is annual prize distribution function. Function means you are celebrating. Only those faces who celebrate themselves, they are happy today. And those who don't celebrate themselves, they are sad, upset. आप सोच रहे हैं काश यार हम भी पार्टिसिपेट कर लेते, हमें भी प्राइज मिल जाता, पर उस समय क्या हुआ, बहुत शर्म आ रही थी, मन नहीं कर रहा था, तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी, किसी ने हमें बोला ही नहीं, हमें पता ही नहीं लगा. You know, all this reasoning that shows that you don't celebrate yourself, you celebrate others. When I asked you why you did this, why you missed that, the students would come and say, "Ma'am, पता नहीं लगा, दोस्त ने नहीं बताया." You know, that again means you are dependent on your dost. You are not celebrating your own, mind, your own soul. हमारे पास भी तो वही दिमाग है ना जो दोस्त के पास है. हम अपने दिमाग को सेलिब्रेट क्यों नहीं कर रहे? हम अपने सोल को सेलिब्रेट क्यों नहीं कर रहे? You know, the first thing is, as Vivekananda, I'm very, really a big fan of, Vivekananda's philosophy. When Swami Vivekananda, he used to say, whatever you think, that's what you become. It's not the action. It's not the action which reaches in a people. Before the action, your thought reaches people. You might be serving water to someone, but your thought is, कहाँ से आ गई ये मुसीबत यार, कौन अब इसको चाय बनाए? This thought would travel faster than the water which you are serving to your guest. And the same happens with Guru Nanak also. You all know the story. When Guru Nanak had gone with his disciples to one of the village, and in that village, the richest man, Sahukar of the village, he is serving him too many delicious things, very tempting food. And Guru Nanak comes out of the home with his disciples, and then he moves on. By the end of the village, there is an old woman, very old. She's a beggar. She just had, half the chapati with her. And as soon as Guru Nanak, passes into that small, hut, jhompadi jise aap kehte hain, and she says, "Oh, Guru Maharaj, aap adhare hain. मेरा बहुत भाग खुल गया है," और वो अपनी आधी रोटी जो है, she gives it to Guru Nanak ji. And Guru Nanak ji takes that and moves out. And when he crosses the village, he turns back and blesses that old woman. May her be prosperous in her soul and mind. And for that Sahukar, he says, may he, lose everything for the cause of the poor people. So his disciples were very, they were really surprised. What he's saying. The one who gave us the delicious, food. You are not giving blessings to that, fellow. And you are giving blessings to a woman who has given you half the chapati, and that was also a beggar's, a plate, because she had already had, begged it from somewhere. So Guru Nanak said, it's not the point what we ate or what we had. The point is, she sacrificed everything of her. Unlike this Sahukar. Sahukar just gave me 1% or maybe 0.001% because he is a big rich man. But he is not having a very big, heart. He can't give it to the poor. But see the poor in a woman, she has got a big heart. And she understands, okay, she has to celebrate her guest. So her thoughts had actually given, that dedication to Guru Nanak, and the blessings had already been, passed to her. So this is what, Vivekananda also used to say. हमारा जो सोच है, वो हमारा किसी को सामान देने से पहले ही उस तक पहुंच जाता है. ये जो आपका सोच है, जिसे हमारी एक साइंस है, जिसे हम कहते हैं टेलीपैथी. एंशिएंट इंडिया में एक बहुत बड़ी साइंस है, एंड वी कॉल इट टेलीपैथी. Telepathy can connect with me, and I can feel what students are feeling, what the gentlemen over here are sitting, they are feeling, what the lady over here sitting, she is feeling. I can understand, without, you're not saying anything to me, but I understand. That is a science. A mother understands, my child is not feeling okay. Higher education. If you see the world data, I think only 18% youth is able to have higher education. So you are one of those 18%. Now imagine how much more than, I think, 82% people are left. They are not coming to the colleges. So you are the luckiest one. Now, okay, you have come to the college, you celebrate yourself, you try to keep yourself neat and clean, your thoughts are neat and clean, you don't go into the bad manners like drug addiction or the wine or cigarette or smoking, nothing, because you are celebrating yourself. You celebrate yourself. Your body is the most beautiful thing. You have beautiful mind, you have beautiful brain, and you have a beautiful heart and soul. तो आप कोई भी गलत आदत में नहीं हो, कोई भी गंदी आदत में नहीं हो, क्योंकि आपको भगवान ने जो गिफ्ट दिया है आप उसको सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हो. और आपका गिफ्ट क्या है? योर बॉडी एंड सोल. सो यू आर सेलिब्रेटिंग. नाउ व्हाट इज द पर्पस टू कम टू द कॉलेज? Now purpose to come to the college is, everyone would say, I wanted a job, I wanted to acquire something, I wanted to complete my degree, I wanted to do this or that. Lately I have read a book, and that book is by Professor Martin. Professor Martin is a psychology professor in University of Pennsylvania. And in that book what I got, he actually researched for full 20 years. He researched for 20 years, 20 साल. जितने भी यूनिवर्सिटी कॉलेज के बच्चे आए उनके ऊपर वो रिसर्च करते रहे कि ये बच्चा किस बैकग्राउंड से आया है, ये बच्चा कहाँ से आया है, क्या पढ़ना चाहता है, फिर 20 साल में वो बच्चा क्या बन गया, ओवैसे के ऊपर पूरी नजर रखी है जैसे उन्होंने. And with that 20 years span, after that he wrote this book. Now he is a very old man and he has written the book. And he has written the book, The Elements of Happiness, and earlier that book was e-book and it was known as The Pursuits of Happiness. अब बच्चों को यहाँ पूछो नौकरी करने आए हो तभी कॉलेज आए हो, they would say yes. Then you ask them, why do you want to have a job? Because I wanted to be happy. So what is your final ultimate goal of the life? To be happy. So what do you mean by happiness? Now happiness is a very big thing, very big thing. Lord Ram went to forest. He could have killed his brothers and father like Aurangzeb, and he must have enjoyed, But he went to the forest. Why? For happiness. किसको हैप्पीनेस देना चाहते थे? To his father. Why? Because he loved his father, and if his father is happy, he is happy. Siddharth, Gautam Buddha, left his small child and wife and went to forest. Why? Because he wanted to attain happiness. For what? He saw the people, those who were really suffering, and he wanted to have something for them. So he left. He was not against his wife or parents. He wanted to have happiness for the society. He was more, because he was a Raja. And for Raja, the first child is the Praja. So he wanted his praja must be happy. And for their happiness, he left his palace. So many examples. Krishna left his everything, Dwarika, Mathura, everything for his relations. Sorry, not Dwarika, Mathura and Vrindavan. And he went to Dwarika. Dwarika is in Gujarat. Mathura and Vrindavan in Uttar Pradesh. Now see, about more than 1000 kilometer distance. But he left them all. He was a god. He could have killed all, Kaurva, Pandava and everything he could have attained to himself. But he didn't. Why? For the happiness. He didn't fight any war. No Mahabharata. He was with Pandavas. He was trying to convince, Kauravas. But he never actually touched even a single weapon in the war of Mahabharata. Why? Again the happiness. The motto was happiness. Now, if even gods, when they had come on this earth, they lived or they dedicated or they sacrificed their lives for happiness. I think same happiness you wanted to attain. And you wanted to attain happiness from where? From the job. Now Professor Martin here says, he talks about few elements of happiness. He says the very first element of happiness is actually staying with a positive mindset. Be positive of everything. Doesn't matter. You have a road accident, doesn't matter. Be positive. Chalo ho gaya. It's okay. First is positivity. Second thing he says, engagement. Engagement शादी वाली engagement नहीं, वो तो बड़ी आफत है. Don't think about that. Okay? Engagement means when you are engaged in some activity. हमेशा कुछ काम होना चाहिए करने के लिए. Second element of happiness, that is engagement. Engage yourself, do some work, and that work must be of your success. KFC में सबने खाया चिकन? कितने लोगों ने KFC में चिकन खाया? KFC, only one fellow is there. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that is the full form of KFC. Do you know his story? Do you know his story? Colonel Sandra, that was his name. He was an army man from USA. He fought the few wars, peacekeeping forces and all, with UN peacekeeping forces. He got an early retirement and he wanted to go into the business. The only thing Colonel Saab was knowing, every single second, that is important. कुछ काम करो, जग में रहकर कुछ नाम करो, यह जन्म हुआ किस अर्थ कहो, समझो जिसमें यह व्यर्थ न हो, कुछ तो उपयुक्त करो तन को, नर हो न निराश करो मन को. Don't be sad, be happy, recognize yourself, keep on using every second. Do 90% hard work, forget about 10%, that is the luck. Whatever is being destined, you are going to get that, but at least utilize your time. So in the end, I would like to congratulate all the prize winners.